We have got some new Kamen Rider cards to show off in today's video. Okay, so before we get started, something I feel like I need to clarify because a lot of people don't seem to understand. Okay, so this is the same thing that happened with the Sword Art Online set, okay? We are not getting the Kamen Rider set itself, but we are getting the cards. We are getting them with a different artwork in Heroic Masquerade. I've seen all kinds of people thinking all kinds of different things, from we're straight missing a set and not getting anything this month. I don't know how you could possibly think that going off the in-game notifications, but some people think that. I've seen some people think we're getting set 5 a month early and then we're just not getting anything in October. I've seen all sorts. Very simple. We are getting this set with different art. That's all it is. Okay, we're just not getting the Kamen Rider artwork. That's it. This is all relevant. We're getting this in like 3 days, okay? So now that is clarified, let's go ahead and talk about the cards. So the first card we've got here has Boost, Blue, and Mask, and on attack, spend 1 of your movement. When you spend it, when you spend it, the boosted minion will henshin into a blue Kamen. So losing the movement is, I don't know how good that is, because obviously you can't use this the turn you boost. But if if you're forward thinking, that's not an issue. So I don't know. It's probably pretty decent. So the next one is Boost Mask, and on your turn, if your minion is attacking a force, it takes forever to load. On your turn, if this minion is attacking a force, the boost ability, then it cannot be blocked, which is pretty scary actually, just being able to give that to any minion. So there's some combinations this could be really crazy with. For example, like if you were to give it to the green one, that said this cannot be targeted while it's in the rest position, or is it cannot be destroyed. I'll check what it is actually. So the 2 cost, which says, I believe it's we're getting pretty much the same thing. So I'll basically the 2 costs. If you boost those, they can't be targeted when they're rested, which means you can just secure a kill on a force with that, which can be nice, but of course they're pretty small, so you do have to do a bit of work beforehand. So it's an okay ability. And then the bike here is literally the same as the green bike. You boost 2 cost or higher when placed in the base. If you have a Kamen Rider minion on your field, increase your movement by 1, and on your turn this minion can henshin even if your minion has already henshin this turn, and if your minion has already henshin more than once this turn, whenever this minion henshins, banish this boost and put a green mana into your base. So, yeah, good, obviously. Being able to henshin multiple times per turn is clearly very good, and it seems to imply here that we'll also get a white version of this, so all of the Kamen Riders can do that ability. So, next up, we've got, it's gonna load, the 2 cost, which seems to be pretty much exactly the same. So, for those of you who don't remember, on your turn, whenever it does damage, it can henshin into in this case, blue minion belonging to the Kamen class, and after henshin, put 1. Sorry, the completely wrong skill there. Ignore that. On your turn, whenever this minion deals damage, it can henshin into a blue minion belonging to the Kamen class, and on your turn, when this minion is in the rest state, it cannot be selected by your opponent's effects. That is what this does. I just read the completely wrong thing there. So next we are going to have, apologise for this dead time, it's really annoying. Okay, at summon and on henshin, summon a copy of this card until the number of minions on your side and the opponent's side are equal. This is really good. Obviously being able to just build a board to reasonably deal with your opponents is quite valuable. However, this is only good early game. If you're trying to play this late game against a board of 8 2s, for example, well, against these kind of big boards we have nowadays, it's probably not going to go very well, because they're just too, the power gap is just too large. But in the early game, if your opponent has dropped like 3 minions, 4 minions for example, this is pretty good value. For if your opponent has 3 minions, 5 mana for 3/3/1s, it's pretty good. It's pretty good. 4 minions is really good. But obviously, if you Henshin into it, then it's amazing because you're paying like 2 mana for that, which is obviously fantastic. And if anything, you already paid that 2 mana, so you don't really care so much either. It's effectively free. We'll have to see how the card economy works on this whole Henshin thing, if that's the correct way to think about it or not. So this has Generic Henshin, when boosted, and at Henshin, increase your movement by 1. So some nice synergy with the first base minion there we saw, where you can reduce your movement. You can reduce your movement in order to Henshin. So yeah, that's pretty good. 3 mana for 1's not bad either. It's really not. Okay, next here we've got the 6 cost. So when boosted and at Henshin, whenever this minion deals damage, it can transform into Henshin. On boost and on Henshin, increase your movement rights by 1. Increase your movement by 1, then make this minion active. And when attacking, give one of your opponents minus 300 BP and minus 1 DP to their original value. So this is clearly quite good. I think that's fairly obvious. Henshin into this is really good value. You're going to be getting a lot out of that. Some nice removal. Maybe if it was 5, it would be a little better. 6 is like turn 4 though. No, turn 3, honestly. Yeah, you should be on 6 turn 3 pretty much. So you know, if we're going second, so very reasonably like early to start getting that kind of ability off. It's pretty good. So next we've got this dude who's, apologies, very loudly interrupted, and I have no idea when the noise started being audible for you, so hopefully you didn't miss anything. This card here is on attack and at Henshin. If it'll load, I can tell. Okay, on attack and at Henshin, move one of your opponent's minions to the base while it is rested. In the rest position. So that's pretty good. You know, being able to just yeet something into base is not bad on attack, and obviously on Henshin as well. So you get 2 in that one turn. You do Henshin into this, but obviously they have costs in it, so that going later it's a bit meh. If you play it from hand, but Henshin into it again is good value. That seems to just be the trend here, right? Like if you are playing these more expensive Henshins from hand, they're not very good. They're really not very good value for mana, but obviously if you're Henshin into them, they are fantastic value. So here we've got the same Henshin. I don't know if I've said this, but Henshin is whenever it deals damage, you then transform to it. When summoned, move all opponents' lowest cost minions into the base rested, and when transformed, destroy all lowest cost minions your opponent controls as minion becomes active. So this could be really good if your opponent's spamming the same kind of thing. Again, this is pretty much all just putting the final nail in the coffin for golem summoning. They're probably gonna buff it in like a month anyway. Once all this stuff runs around, it's just like making it not very viable to play. But obviously that is rather good, clearly. But the next one is even better. So who got 8 cost legendary? At Henshin, destroy all opponents' highest cost minions. This card becomes active, so that's immediately a lot better. And the second skill will be not loading. Yeah. On your turn, if this card deals damage to a player, you may decrease your movement by 1. If you do, 1 minion with 2 DP becomes active. So obviously the same, right? So if you have a lot of movement, you can keep attacking with this. And obviously, the main thing here is it's just going to be nuking your opponent's big things, which is quite good, of course. So that's the blue KAMEN stuff. How do I feel about it? Yeah, it's pretty good. Is it better than green? I have no idea, honestly. I would really have to test it. I really have no clue. So now we have got one of the villain stuff, which is going to be red, and most of this isn't very good. But there is one monster that's quite good. This has on attack, destroy one opponent's minion with 200 or less BP. it's a 3 cost for 1, and it's a monster. So I mean, it's not very interesting. This has a passive. Whenever a monster minion you control is destroyed, this minion will gain +1/+1. Again, not really anything too special. You know, not really fantastic. Okay, that is a bit strange. Let's go ahead and refresh there. So this is the good one. This has okay. So this has charge, and if you've summoned a minion with a cost of 5 or more this turn, this the free cost of this card becomes 0. So I totally misread this actually. I thought this was a bit better than it was. But yeah, so this will be a 3 cost 5/2 charger, which is not bad. It's not bad, but obviously you can only play it like that if you're 8 mana or more. So it's not fantastic. It can help you close out a game, but again, not fantastic. And this is a 6 cost 6/2 with charge, and when summoned and on attack, summon 1 yummy token, and these are yummy tokens, which are just 1/1s. So yeah, the villain deck obviously not too special, but the rider stuff is looking pretty exciting. So that is the second batch of card reveals done. Now, before I finish the video, some important things to consider. So obviously tomorrow we're going to be getting the final set of the Japanese reveals, but one thing worth considering is because we are missing out on the KAMEN Rider event, or on the collaboration, this means that we might actually be getting the whole set at once. So for those of you who are not aware, who didn't see the news video about this, there are 3 cards that are going to be added into the set in the middle of the month in Japan, like happened with Forbidden for us. But of course, since we're not getting that, I think it's pretty likely that we're actually just going to get the whole set dropped at once, which means we will get those 3 cards immediately. So, you know, we probably won't have to waste any dust on unneeded cards, which is good to know. And I think that's amazing. Oh, also, yeah. So that is to say, tomorrow is the final card reveals, but it isn't, because we will see if we get those 3 cards. Obviously, I'll post that video on September 2nd. So whenever you're seeing this, if it's already up or not, that's what you need to know there. So obviously if you want to be up to date for the latest card reveals and all that kind of stuff, sub to the channel. I do daily videos on Zenonzard pretty much exclusively, occasionally some other content, but it's mostly Zenonzard. So yeah, click that red button if you don't want to miss anything. Like the video if you enjoyed the content, comment your thoughts on any of these cards in the comment section down below, and join the Discord servers linked in the description. There is the Zenonzard English Discord server, you can talk about everything Zenonzard there, and there is my personal Discord server, which you can also talk about anything, but it doesn't have to be Zenonzard related. Once again, I hope you guys enjoyed this video today, and I will see you in tomorrow's video. Cheers.